Hello everyone, welcome back to plot number 13. I thought it's about time I gave you an update on these onions. Right, so we're on day number 141 of the Giant Onion Growing Challenge, which is around week 21. I'll give you a quick overview of how I'm tracking things. I found it really useful this year to write a lot of stuff down. So let me just give you a quick look about my bits of paper. Here we are. So here's my week by week growth planner that I've been using. So it's got the weeks and the dates down the side, and then this section I was kind of trying to plan which pot to put it in, but it's all changing as I'm going along. And then I've got an area where I make a note of the light just in case there was any problems. Then I track the daylight, how long the lights are on and off for, the air temperature with my air thermometer and my soil temperature with the soil thermometer. And then in this section here is about the feeding regime that I've been doing. And then obviously notes and stuff on the side. So what I'll do is at the end of this growing season, I will refresh all of this and amend it and then use it for next year. So if we just go over to this week or today, we're on week 21. It's still in the 9-litre air pot and the light's on for 13 hours at the moment. I put the rough temperature there and the soil temperature is currently 21, and I've only just fed them today, and it was a quarter strength of the Plant Magic 533. So they've had a good drink today. I'm looking to up the lights next week up until April. The end of April, and then it'll go up again, and then hopefully they'll go out. So I'm looking to put them out around early June this year. So we'll see if it works out like that. And then what I'll do is up the feed as they go in as well. And then what I'll do towards the end is change it from the 533 to the PK48, which is more to do with like bulbing and things like that. So that's fine. And then obviously the last page would just be bulbing up basically. Yeah, so that's that so far. I've also got my book where I have planned out what I want to do this year versus last year, so that's quite helpful at the start of the year. But there is a little section where I write down in live kind of days what I did, so I can go to my master plan and like amend it. I've even done a little bit about some of the lights and what readings I had at the different depths of the onions there. But what I wanted to show you was the circumference. So I've started measuring the circumference earlier on. So the last time I did it was the 25th of January, and the circumference of number 1 was 13, number 2 was 17, and then number 3 onion was 17.5. So today what I want to do is get my piece of string out and measure them and then jot it down in my book, and we can do that together now. So let's go and have a look and see what they're like. So here they are, the onions. The number 3 is this one here, so we'll have a quick look at that being it's at the front first. So I'm going to get a piece of string and just put it around the thickest part of the onion, and then get my nail, pinch it there, and then we'll see roughly how long it is, how wide it is really. Let's have a look. So that is bob on 18 centimetres in diameter. So I'm just going to put that in my book. And we'll have a quick look at number 2 now. So again, around the thickest part there. And then on to, it's not exact, it's just a guide. That one's 19 centimetres. And then we'll do the one at the back if I can get to it. So this one is number 1 because it was doing the best out of the 3 initially, but it's been overtaken now. Let's have a little look. And that is roughly 17 centimetres, that one. So there we go. It's quite interesting actually. The last measurement, like I said, was the 25th of January. We're now on the 24th of February, so pretty much bob on a month there. Number 1 was 13 in January centimetres, and it's now 17, so that's an extra 4 centimetres. Number 2 in January was 17 centimetres, and it's now currently sat at 19 centimetres. And then finally number 3, which was 17.5 centimetres, and it's now currently 18 centimetres. So that's really interesting. So number 1 has actually put on the most growth. Absolutely crazy. So I didn't even realise that that one had grown that much, to be fair. So it's very interesting. Let me show you the different sized shafts on them as well, and you can see if there's any change on there versus my previous video. Okay, so I've just measured this one. It's around 24 centimetres on there, and I've measured the one at the back, which is number 1, and that was 17 centimetres. So there is still quite a lot of difference. You can probably tell from this angle, if I move that leaf out of the way, the difference in the height of it. And this one, number 2, is looking the thickest. These two, well, number 3 had a massive growth spurt, and it actually threw out 2 leaves at the same time. So it was absolutely grown wild, and now this one seems to be doing it as well. It's just really congested it in the top there of the leaves. So they're obviously enjoying where they are at the moment. Last week I turned the lights down a little bit because there was a lot of tip burn on there. They were spurting out so many leaves that I think they were just, the end ones were just dying, so it looked worse than it was. So I've actually put the lights back up to 50% now. So I'm not sure if the actual tip burn creates that much of a problem, if it's the outer ones, if it's these outer leaves that are already kind of dying off. So it'd be interesting to see what your thoughts are on that, whether the tip burn does actually damage and knock the plant back at all. I mean, they've got loads of other leaves that are fine, so I'm not sure. I'm not too worried about it, to be fair. My only concern with that is they get a bit mouldy on the end, and I don't want that to kind of fall into the soil and like promote rot or mould or anything. So I may need to make sure that the air's good in here. I have been opening this up as well because I've had absolutely tons of mushrooms growing in here. They're growing out the holes and everything. So I have been pulling a few of them off as well because they go mouldy, and I don't want it to be a mouldy environment. So yeah, do you have mushrooms growing in your onions? Or is it just me? Just quickly, I want to go over the daylight hours. So I googled the average daylight hours in the UK. So 8, 9, 11, 13 and so on throughout the year. So in January, the onions had 12 hours on, 12 hours off. February, halfway through February, it was 12 to 13. March, I'm aiming for 14. And then April, kind of May time, I'm going to aim for around 15. So then it will be in line for when I plant them out. So that's why I want to increase it slowly and then match it up to what the real sun does, basically. I hope that makes sense of what I'm trying to achieve. It makes sense in my mind. Okay, so before you go today, I've just got one more thing that I want to show you. I just find it really interesting. So I want to show you the rejected onions so far. So the onions that didn't make the cut, they got potted on and came straight outside into my little glass house out here, and so did the second and so did the third. So I want to show you the different stages of these onions. There we go. So these onions here have just been potted on and put outside. I've brought them outside now, but they were in my glass house over there. But look how small they are. These were sown exactly the same time as the ones you've just seen indoors there. This was the second one that was rejected. So this was the second lot. You can really see it's bigger than those ones just outside. And then this one was the final one to be rejected. But look at that. Look how big it is at the bottom there compared to it. The onions last year that didn't make the cut, I still grew them on and planted them out. I did some at home in containers and some down the plot, and they were brilliant onions. So yeah, I'm going to plant these down the allotment or in containers again and have some great onions. But let me show you them all together and you can really see the difference. There you go. 1, 2 and 3, the different cuts of onions. Mental. What a bit of TLC can do to your plants. Right, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and look forward to your updates this weekend. Take care everyone. Happy growing. Bye bye.